With some of the recent buffs to legendaries and spells, Demonology Warlock is becoming a more viable option for both Mythic Plus and raiding. However, being so dependent upon the talent choice makes it difficult to play optimally if you don't know what to pick. So today I'll be sharing the talent builds you should be using for raiding Mythic Plus with the Wilford's Superior Summoning Legendary for the dog build, as well as the build for questing in open world. My name is Ivona from momsden.com, and if you've just landed here for the first time, subbing is a good idea, as I do plenty of simple WoW guides for classes, dungeons, raids, and collectibles you don't want to miss. When it comes to the talent tree, due to the level squish, we still have the choice of talents up until level 50, just like it was before Shadowlands. Of course, you'll have some additional Covenant abilities to play around with, so you don't have to worry about everything feeling less powerful, even though we're not getting new talents on level 55 and 60. Bear in mind that even though I recommend a lot of these talents as the only ones, your circumstances while questing and doing dungeons may be different, and you may have to pick something that suits you more. Also, this is a guide that's super beginner friendly, so if you're looking for more situational talent picks, I suggest you research that further. Before you begin choosing your talents, I highly recommend you get the Talent Set Manager add-on, which will allow you to save all of those presets and switch between them whenever you need to. As per leveling, questing, and other open world stuff, this will be your general build, and you don't need to have any particular legendaries or conduits to make it work. Your level 15 talent should be Dreadlash, as you'll often find yourself calling out Dreadstalkers and you want them to deal more damage to quest minion packs. On level 25, get the Demonic Calling to make it easier for you to actually cast those Dreadstalkers, and your level 30 is pretty much whatever you want. You can go Burning Rush if you need speed, but Demon Skin is also not a bad pick as it helps with your leech efficiency. On level 35, Summon Vile Fiend is definitely the one to go for, as it's one of your most powerful cooldowns, and with a 45-second cooldown you get to use it a lot. On level 40, the choice is yours, but Mortal Coil is generally better if you're short on heals and face more single target things, whereas Howl Terror gets better for trash packs you can't get rid of straight away. Level 45 is for your Grimoire Felguard. For general questing and dungeons, there's nothing quite as good as this mister, and being on a 2-minute cooldown allows you to plan for it quite nicely and pair it along with your other spells too. On level 50, you want to get the Demonic Consumption. Now, the text on this one is a bit awkward, as it says that your demon commander drains life from your demon servants to empower himself, but that actually refers to your demonic tyrant who gets more powerful when summoned, which is quite nice. When it comes to Mythic Plus and raiding, and this applies to pretty much any legendary or conduit combination you have, the difference between this build and the leveling one I just talked about isn't all that great. The optional talents in level 30 and 40 will depend on the dungeon you're doing, but the only real big change will be on level 15, where you'll want the Demonic Strength instead of Dreadlash. Unless you're playing a dog build that I'll talk about in a bit. So everything remains the same, but your Demonic Strength will empower your Felguard and make it deal a whole lot of damage. Just make sure you're pairing this build with the Fel Commando Potency Conduit if you want to play it right. There's a particular Mythic Plus build revolving around the Wilford's Superior Summoning Legendary, and if you use that one along with the Carnivorous Dreadstalkers Potency Conduits, you can play the so-called dog build, where your talents and your rotation will depend largely on summoning a whole lot of demon puppies and finishing off with an implosion. On level 15 of the dog build, you want to go for Dreadlash, as it further empowers your Dreadstalkers, and that's pretty much what your build is about. On level 25, go for your Demonic Calling, as your Dreadstalkers will have a chance to cost 2 soul shards less, making them free, and they may have no cast time, which is what you want. On level 30, you can again choose what you want, and I personally go for Demon Skin, but if you feel like you need additional speed, Burning Rush is pretty good too. On level 35, and this is really important as you're denying yourself the Vile Fiend, You're choosing from the shadows. This talent is so cool because the Dreadbite further buffs your Shadow Flame damage, and considering your Hand of Gul'dan and Implosion are Shadow Flame types of damage, that really helps your build become super powerful. On 40, the choice is again yours and depends on your situation. You can choose Mortal Coil for more single target fear and a bit of healing, or if you're in a Mythic Plus environment, there's Howl of Terror that can sometimes be helpful on a trash pack. On 45, you're making yet another difficult choice by denying yourself the Grimoire and going for the Soul Conduit. But this is so important as the shard generation is crucial for spamming Hand of Gul'dan and getting more imps. And you need it to summon the Dreadstalkers if you don't get a free proc on them, which is normally what you're fishing for, but you've got to be ready to pay for it too. Finally, on level 50, you're sticking with Demonic Consumption as you still have your Tyrant and buffing him is a good deal whatever you do. And that's pretty much it when it comes to Demonology talents. Again, this is a super basic overview and it'll serve you well if you're just getting into it and aren't looking for some specific boss fights or PvP combo builds. If you've got any tips or suggestions of your own, leave them in the comments, and if you liked this guide and found it useful, leave it a like so more people can find it. If you haven't subbed yet, now is a good time as more guides like this are coming soon, or you'll find them in the library if you land here a few weeks after the video's release. Thank you for watching and bye bye.